You sighed and looked at the man sitting in front of you. Look, Jungkook, I know that you're going through a very tough time, but you need to cooperate with me. He was looking at you like a lost child. It might look weird to others, but not to you because this is what your profession is, and you have been dealing with patients who have been dealing with memory loss or mental illness. But I'm trying my best. I just can't accept that you are not my Abby. Every time I look at you, I feel like I've known you all this time. I've forgotten everything but not you. I know this happens in some cases, but you need to keep reminding yourself, I'm your doctor and not your wife who left you. I know how it feels to lose someone, but you need to accept the truth. It's been 3 months since your treatment. Show some improvement. Jungkook's eyes softened as he reached out, his hand hovering near yours on the table. Abby, I know it's hard for you too, but can we at least pretend, just for a moment, that everything's alright? You sighed, feeling a little bad for him as he seems to love his wife a lot and you wonder why she left him. Jungkook, we have been over this. I'm your doctor, not your wife, and my name isn't Abby. He pouted, looking like a lost puppy. But Dr. Ryan, don't you see, maybe if we pretend I'll remember more, it could be therapeutic. You raised an eyebrow, trying to suppress a smile. Therapeutic, huh? Well, Mr. John, I don't remember that being part of the recommended treatment plan. Jungkook leaned back, a mischievous glint in his eyes. I read it somewhere, maybe in one of those medical journals you keep lying around. You know, the ones next to the romance novels? Your face heated up and eyes widened. How did you know about those? He grinned, clearly enjoying this moment with you. I have my ways, but seriously, Dr. Ryan, can we at least have a date for the sake of science? You couldn't help but laugh at his audacity. Alright, fine. One date, but only because it's for science. Jungkook's smile widened. Perfect. How about dinner tonight? I'll even try to remember where is the kitchen. You shook your head. You're impossible, but okay, dinner it is. Just don't expect me to cook. He winked. Don't worry, Abby. I've got it all under control. You sighed, getting up from the chair. Ryan, just try to remember my name, Jungkook. I know we have to take things slowly, but let's start from here, remembering who I am. You gave him a soft smile while collecting your stuff and shoving in your bag. He got up and came near you. I will try my best. Just give me some time to adjust. I just can't unsee it. When I look at you, it feels like I'm with Abby. You patted his shoulder. I understand, but don't worry, everything will be fine. Now I'll take my leave. See you later. Don't forget about the dinner. You smiled and nodded before walking away while waving your hand. When he disappeared from his sight, he slid his hands in his pockets and sighed. I can never forget you, Ryan. You are the only one I want to remember, but I have to put on this act because it's really hard to get your love. But Abby is really a wonderful character in my story. She's helping me a lot. So basically, Mr. John Jungkook is pretending to be mentally ill and pretending to lose his memory because he fell in love with you. But it's not easy to make you fall in love, especially when he's a mafia, so he did all this drama to keep you with him, and he's on mission to make you fall in love with him. Just then Mark, one of his men, approached him with urgency in his steps. Boss, we have a situation. The rival gang is moving in on our territory. We need to act now. Jungkook's look shifted instantly. The softness in his eyes was replaced by coldness. His usual cold and intimidating aura returned as he turned to face Mark. Where are they now? Mark handed him a tablet showing a map with blinking red dots. They are at the docks. They have already started unloading their shipments. Jungkook's jaw tightened. Gather the men. We move out in 5 minutes. Make sure we are ready for everything. As Mark nodded and rushed out, Jungkook took a deep breath, his mind briefly drifting back to you. He had to keep up this act for a little longer, no matter how complicated things become. He would make you fall for him, even if it meant balancing this dangerous double life. You came back to your clinic and sat at your desk, flipping through Jungkook's reports. The reports were puzzling. Despite his claims of memory loss, the tests showed nothing wrong. You furrowed your brow, trying to piece together the mystery, what exactly had happened to him. You stared at the pages, lost in thoughts. Why is everything so normal? There should be anything that explains his condition. Your mind wandered to his supposed wife. Jungkook seems to love her deeply, so why had she left him? I understand not liking his work, being involved with a mafia boss isn't easy, but to leave someone who loves you so much? You murmured to yourself. You tapped your pen against the desk, deep in thoughts. He remembered her even after losing his memory. That kind of love is rare. You sighed, feeling a mix of frustration and sympathy. What am I missing here? The whole situation felt off, but you couldn't quite put your fingers on why. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I need to focus on what I know. Jungkook needs my help and I'm determined to provide it, even if his case is unlike I've ever encountered. You thought about the times you have spent together. Though he's a mafia, he's like a very normal and chill guy, and you really like talking to him, even though most of the time you try to tell him that you are not his wife. You think about his wife and why she left such a loving husband, which is rare to find. A smile appeared on your face when you remembered the conversation with Jungkook from earlier, but you quickly realized that he's your patient, and whatever you are thinking is wrong. You can't have romantic feelings for him. I just wish that he soon get his memory back before I lose my mind. He's really very difficult to handle, especially when he thinks that I'm his wife. I really feel bad correcting him all the time. He looks hurt when I tell him that I'm not his wife. I'm sorry for being late, something came up. You slide into passenger seat, brushing off his apology with a wave of your hand. It's okay, I just got free myself. Although you were waiting for him for 2 hours, but you didn't tell him the truth. He started the car and looked at you. Thank you for keeping your words. I seriously don't know how to not see Abby in you. You both are same in everything you do. You looked at him for some time. Hearing him talk about his wife all day makes you curious to know about his past. You talk about your wife a lot and seems to remember so much about her, even though you have forgotten so many things. Can you tell me what she was like and why did she left? Sometimes you engage him in such conversations so that he can try to remember things from his past. Jungkook's grip on the steering wheel tightened for a moment before he relaxed, a soft smile playing on his lips. Abby was something special. She was kind, intelligent, and always knew how to make me smile. She had this way of understanding me even when I didn't understand myself. His words hung in the air, and you couldn't help but to feel a strange connection to the woman he described. Little did you feel like Jungkook's story was carefully crafted because each word designed to mirror you, to draw you close into his web. It sounds like she was a very understanding woman. He looked at you. Yes, just like you. She even has the same soft and sweet voice as yours. I always feel like she's back in my life whenever you are with me. What happened that she left you? Jungkook looked at you for a second and then shifted his eyes on the road. Of course he has to make this story on the spot as he didn't know why you are asking so many questions today. Maybe because I didn't turn out to be a deserving husband, I must not give her the happiness she deserves. You placed your hand over his hand, sending shivers in his body as he felt a current by your touch. It always feels healing and magical. He slowly looked towards you. You are a great husband, Jungkook. I may not know what happened in your past, but you still remember her out of all the things It shows that you are a great man. There must be something, but I can definitely say that you are not a bad guy. He fell for you even deeper, the way you think and your innocence stole his heart. He does not regret anything that he is doing to get your love. If you're saying that, then I'll accept it. You chuckle. Yes, you should accept it and don't worry. Once you'll remember everything, maybe you will also get to know the reason of her disappearance and then you can find her. Maybe she still doesn't want to come. Maybe she hates me because I'm a mafia. Why would anyone even wants to love me? He says, sounding a little upset. Why would anyone love you? So what, you're a mafia? You're still better than 90% of men out there. He suddenly pulled the brakes and looked at you shocked, while your cheeks also turned red as you realized what he just said. You mean I'm better than any man out there? You looked away, trying to hide the blush that appeared on your face. I mean, why not? You are good. You looked outside the window and closed your eyes tightly in embarrassment while Jungkook smiled and again started the engine. Made me feel so good. You bit your lower lip, trying to control your smile while still unable to face him. Wow, it's surprising that you remember how to cook. You said, looking at him amazed, as his cooking skills were no joke and you were really having a great time watching him cook. Fortunately, and I really cook well. You smiled and looked at him. I can already tell by the smell. He smiled. As he moved around the kitchen, you noticed a bullet scar on his arm when his sleeves rolled up slightly. How did you get that scar? You said, coming near him. He paused, glancing at the scar, a flicker of something crossing his face. Oh, this is just a reminder from the time when. He stopped abruptly, realizing he had to maintain his act. I mean, I don't really remember how I got it. You frowned, sensing something was off. You were about to say something. Do you remember how you got it? Jungkook forced a smile, shaking his head. No, it's all a blur. I wish I could tell you. Now you really started to doubt him, but because you were not sure about anything, so you decided to stop your overthinking. Maybe he doesn't remember things for real. Maybe it will come back to you. Let me tell you a few things I've learned about your past. Once, during a territory dispute, you were caught in a crossfire. You took a bullet to protect one of your men. Does that ring any bells? You decided to make up some scenarios so it can help him, or maybe some memories flashed in front of his eyes. But he just shook his head. No, it doesn't. You pressed on, hoping to trigger some memory. Another time you were negotiating peace with the rival gang, things got dangerous and there was a shootout. You were hit, but you still secured the deal. He laughed and looked at you. Seems like you have just watched a movie. If not, then your imagination is great. You sighed. I was trying to help you in remembering about this, but it's okay. Let's not press on it today. Jungkook came near you. Even if I don't remember things, I still have you. You'll be my wife, right? Your eyes widened. Hell no, I'm sorry, but I can't pretend to be your wife, okay? I have my own identity, and again, I'm your doctor. You walk to the counter and pretend to do some work because you didn't want to share any awkward moment with him. After dinner and a long conversation where you tried to make him remember anything from his past, but all he could talk about was you both headed to the car. Thank you so much, Dr. Ryan. Today I felt like I have the most beautiful time of my life, he said, turning towards you while you smiled. I'm happy to know that, and don't worry, you'll be fine soon. Things will come together. He nodded. By if any chance I don't remember my past, will you be with me forever? Your cheeks turned red and you looked away while he was trying to control his smile. I was just joking, you don't need to be shy. You looked at him and cleared your throat. I'm not shy, and also, I will go home by myself. Please don't trouble yourself. He came near you and you could feel your heart beating fast. I've lost my memory and not my skills. I still know how to drive. You nodded. Okay then. You said and walked ahead because you were feeling butterflies in your stomach and you didn't want to make it obvious that you're fallen for your patient. As you approached the car, one of Jungkook's men appeared, unaware of your presence. Boss, we handled the situation well and kidnapped the captain. We'll get all the necessary information. Jungkook quickly looked around, not seeing you. Good. I'll be there after I drop her home. Now leave from here. You step out from behind the wall, crossing your arms and raising an eyebrow. Who's kidnapping? Are you talking about Mr. Jungkook? Can you explain to me? Jungkook and his men both froze, their eyes wide with shock. He gulped as you raised your brow. He awkwardly smiled and looked at Mark, who also smiled awkwardly as he didn't know you were here, and also Jungkook thought you already sat inside the car. Dr. Ryan, this isn't what it looks like, he said, coming towards you while he crossed your arms. Oh really? Because it sounds exactly like a kidnapping and you also seem to remember everything, you said, tapping your foot impatiently. Jungkook sighed, running a hand through his hair. Alright, fine. You caught me. I didn't lose my memory. Your jaw dropped hearing that. What? So you've been fooling me all this time? Ryan, I can explain. What would you explain? I knew something was off. You did all this drama and wasted my time and energy. How can you do that? And you were calling me your wife. Now I understand why she left you. There is no Abby. You are the first woman I've fallen in love with. You looked at him shocked when you heard that. What? There's no Abby? Yeah, are you on a mission to mess up with my mind? Boss, I will take my leave. He bowed and slipped out of there as he knew what's going to happen now. Jungkook sighed and came near you. I'm sorry, Ryan. You made up an entire wife just to get close to me, right? Jungkook sighed and nodded. Yes, I thought it was the only way to make you stay. You're a great doctor and even better person, and I'm in love with you, Ryan. You were speechless and amazed at the same time. A mafia boss did all this drama just because he wanted to get close to you. It was unbelievable. You went through all this trouble pretending to lose your memory just to get me to like you. He shrugged, looking a bit embarrassed. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds kind of ridiculous. You stepped closer, shaking your head in disbelief. You know, Jungkook, you could have just asked me out like a normal person. He looked at you a little surprised and confused. So if I have asked you, you would have accepted me? You nodded, making him more surprised. So you have no problem with me being a mafia? You looked at him and smiled. I have known you properly for 3 months now, and don't think that I didn't doubt you, but I also saw different sides of you and you don't seem a bad person by heart. That's all what matters to me. So can we date for real? Only if your Abby don't come back. He chuckled and hugged you while you smiled. I've got my Abby already, no one will come back. You wrapped your arms around him. You're seriously unbelievable. Who does such things? He chuckled. When a man falls in love, you have no idea what he can do to get his love. This was not even 1%. You smiled.